lost my other window again. Cool, let me zoom in a little bit and we'll make a start. So tonight, not tonight, this afternoon, it's really got dark already. I'll turn the lights off, I think it's night time. So we're making a start on regular expressions today. You've already probably looked at them a little bit in your training, but a lot of people don't like them. I suppose they're a bit like Marmite, you either love them or you hate them. A lot of people seem confused by them and don't really like them that much. They can be complicated, but for simple use cases, they are very, very useful for searching strings. So it's an alternative often to other methods. But personally, I think things can be more concise and more performant often by using a regular expression. So firstly, what is a regular expression? Well, they're used across many languages. And they're standalone, if you like, but then they're incorporated into languages like JavaScript. And in JavaScript, we have a regular expression object as well. But essentially, the format for most regular expressions is 2 forward slashes. So let me just assign it to this variable regex down here. 2 forward slashes, and between there, we put a pattern that we want to search for. So let's say I want to search for the pattern double L, for example. Then I could just define the regular expression itself like that. 2 forward slashes and the characters that I want to match inside. So we have 2 ways of declaring regular expressions in JavaScript. We have the regular expression literal, which is using those forward slashes. Or we have the regular expression constructor, which we use using the new keyword. Yeah, so we've looked at both of these already. So notice the format when I just log regex to the console. It keeps those forward slashes and the double L there. If I created a new regular expression and put the 2 L's in there, it is not going to look any different, right? So that is all that new constructor is doing for you. Yeah, it's creating a regular expression from the string that you pass to it. Yeah, they are equivalent. Those 2 lines, line 4 and 5, are equivalent. The things that change a little bit are when we add option flags. So we'll look at options a little bit later. With the regular expression constructor, we have to pass our options as a string. And if we run that in the console, we'll see what gets printed out. Yeah, so it just does that, /LL/G. So of course, to write that as a regular expression literal, we can just do the same down there. And those 2 are equivalent again. Yeah, so firstly, the 2 ways to write regular expressions. And just think of regular expression as a pattern that we want to search for within a block of text, within a string. Yeah? So let's put those patterns to use. So what methods have we got available to us in JavaScript that allow us to use regular expressions? Could anyone name some? What regular expression methods have we got available to us in JavaScript? So methods that use a regular expression. I mean like match, yeah, match is one of them. Includes, can that use a regular expression? Can it? Maybe it can. I don't know, it wasn't what I was thinking of, but we can have a go with it. Includes later. Replace can definitely use a regular expression, yeah.
And a terrible one,
Exec can definitely use it, yeah. So as well as that, we've got search, test, and split can also take a regular expression as well. Yeah, you can split by a regular expression rather than splitting by a string. Cool. So search, I guess, is the easiest one. That will return true or false, right? So let's start with that. So if we wanted to search a string, we could literally type the string and then dot search and then pass in our regular expression that we want to search for. So is that going to return true or false? Yeah, because it's looking for the pattern of two L's. And are two L's in hello? Yeah, right. So search does test returns true or false, doesn't it? So search, what does search return?
Index.
The index, yeah.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
I was confused.
So search returns the index of the match, yeah, where the match starts. Okay. So if we wrote test then, does it still follow that format? String.test regular expression, or is it slightly different?
Test is a bit different.
Yeah.
You have to test the regex only.
It's the other way around.
Yeah,
So we mentioned our methods, right? We had search, match, replace, split. We had includes as well. I'm not sure. I haven't used includes with a regular expression, but we'll try it later. And then we've got test and exec. So I've split them up like that because test and exec themselves work on the regular expression, and you pass the string in like that. Whereas search, you call it on the string, and you pass in the regular expression. Yeah, so those on line 7 follow that format. String dot method regular expression. The other two are regular expression dot method. Yeah, so just be aware that there are two different ways of calling these regular expression methods. I haven't got a good way to remember them. I'm sorry. So, to make this a little bit more interesting, otherwise it could be quite dull, I suggest we go to the little book of quotes by Vince, and we can test some quotes. So obviously the first one, I'm a genius. I forgot what I was going to put in the second one, so I'll get rid of that then.
Should have gone for that. So sad.
This is coming up for his upcoming fight soon. I think he's got a sparring match soon. And then some actual wisdom comments from other people. Oh no, that was Vince's one as well, wasn't it? Why are you going through all this mumbo jumbo? Just use split. And then these two aren't from Vince, but in his wiser days, this is some of the stuff that he says. So let's test a few of these things. Cool. So we've got our strings. If we do, what one do you want to do? Should we do match? Match, I like match. Let's do match. So the syntax, quote1.match. And we can pass a regular expression in there. I want to use a regular expression literal. So what is the first character I'm going to do? So not using the new constructor, but to create a regular expression literal. What's that, sorry? The loafer? I just want to put it directly into the match for now. I don't even want to create a... So it's just a forward slash, yeah? So we put our pattern between some forward slashes. So, I don't know, if we wanted to search for the letter A in quote 1, then we could just do that, yeah? And that is going to return an array like that. So it returns the actual value, tells you where, tells you what the input was, and any capture groups that you used. So usually you don't see it like that. I think if you add a flag, does it still give you all that information? No. So if you add a flag, it only gives you the matches. Yeah? So for example, if you wanted to determine how many times the letter A appears in a certain sentence, how would you do that? Let's use quote 5 because it's got lots of A's in. If I just passed in a regular expression, look what we get back. We just get back one match, the A at index 4. Yeah, so if you did something like that, dot length, then you're only going to get a length of 1. But hang on, A is there, A is there. There's lots of A. Well, there's only 2, right? Whatever. There's more than one A in that sentence.
Yeah.
So how do I make it match more than one time? Nope. Don't need a loop. Anything like that. There are things called options or flags in regular expressions, and that's the same sort of terminology as when you use -f to force push your. Yeah, it's a flag. It's an option parameter. So we can add them into regular expressions by literally just putting another character after the /. So G in this case stands for global, match everything. So now, if we do that, we get 2. So there's 2 A's in quote 5. Let's try and find. So maybe if we did quote 4, how many N's in quote 4? Let's find out. 5, right? 1 there. 2 there. No, I've missed some obviously.
Sorry, I've got a bit of a question. If we've got the global flag, why are we using .left again?
Okay, so by default, match returns an array of the matches. N.
Okay, so
Yeah?
it's saying how many of them.
So if I want to ask the question how many, then we can use .length. Yeah, to return 5. How many in the array? It's cool. How about if we had another string, but it includes alternative spellings. So in CSS, how do we write color? Yeah. And in English, how do we often write color? With a U, right? Should that be a question mark there? Yeah. So, what's wrong with that?
Quote 2 is defined twice.
Thank you.
Why didn't the previous example show a G but put N?
The previous example.
Yeah.
We need to do all these now, right? I should done 6 to begin with. So what was your question, Ewan, about the G?
Yeah, there's a G after the.
Yeah. So we said just matching like that without that optional G or that optional flag will only return one match. With the G, it returns all matches. Global it stands for, yeah?
So that's quote 4.
Yep.
And then knowing that we see a G.
So you got 1. No, it's not matching the G, it's matching the N. It matches what's ever between the /.
Oh, the G's for the
And the G stands for global. How many matches are there? Keep matching for all of them, yeah? Okay. So if we wanted to match either colour or colour spelt American way, how would we do it? So we have to think what is common to everything.
You put a straight line as in or.
Oh, yeah, that's one way, yeah. So you're saying do colour or colour, yeah? Something like that?
Could you also
Put it
do,
in parentheses as well.
yeah,
Do they need to be in parentheses? Maybe they do.
Is it not two? Should it be one?
No, not in regex. It's one pipe.
could you put them in quotations and then separate the two points?
No. Oh, we're in quote 4 though, right? So I need to be quote 3 matching. That's why we're not matching.
Open parentheses.
Let's try once more. Yeah. Okay. So therefore it matches the first one, which is that. If I wanted to match both of them, how would I do it? And no. So if we want to match more than one time, it's a G, yeah, always a G, yeah. So now we match colour and colour, yeah. So that wasn't what I was thinking of. I was actually thinking of, we have an optional U in there. So if you look at one of the links that I've given you in the regex cheat sheet one, you'll see that under quantifiers you've got a question mark. Yes, you can quantify how many times we expect certain characters to appear. Yes, if we want the U to either appear once or not at all, then we can just put a question mark on the end of it, and that should still match. Clear that to make sure. Yeah, so that still matches colour or colour, yeah? So regex is full of these extra qualifying characters. If we had things like telephone numbers, as a string, right? Okay, say I wanted to only match numbers if they appear 3 times in a row. We could also do that with regex.
Curly braces, 3, comma, close curly braces.
So Ewan's seen something and he's saying if we want to add some sort of quantifier that says we expect exactly 3, then we can do a curly braces 3, and then in front of it we have to say what we want to match. So there's a couple of ways to do this. So in other words, we want to match digits, yeah? So I could put like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I could do stuff like that, right?
Is it in upper thing?
But it has to be, yeah, you're right, inside a character class. So you could obviously type out all the numbers, or you could do 0 to 9. There's another way as well. Oh, what have I done wrong here then? Say again? Capital D. Yeah, I was just trying to get this one to work. So 0 to 9. So you were suggesting the D, yeah, the \D as to match any digits. And that's why, again, that I'm using the wrong thing to match. Sorry. Yeah, so that will just match numbers of 3 consecutive numbers exactly. If I had a number of 5 in there, and I wanted to match numbers of length 3 or more consecutive numbers, how would I do that? 3 comma something, yeah. So that means 3 or above. So that should now match 3 digits, 3 digits, 5 digits, yeah.
How does the capital D work? It's a small.
The capital D matches anything that is not a digit.
Okay.
So in that case, we're going to get nothing.
That just basically says not digit.
But if I, yeah, so that has now matched my space with all of those. So there are various shorthand characters which can be very useful. We use the escape character, the backslash, and then we use either a D or a S. Oh look, splits come up. It wants to be included. I can't get rid of it. I really can't get rid of it. No. How do I just move on? Space. There we go. Or a W for wisdom, apparently. Vince's key trait. Sorry, Vince. So, what do these all mean? So D stands for a digit. So that is anything from 0 to 9. S stands for our white space characters, which are things like space, tab, all those sorts of things, yeah? And our W is alphanumeric, I believe. So I think that will match numbers as well. Let's test that. Alpha number, alphanumeric.
That is not a word.
Hmm? So I think if we put a backslash W in here, it should match both the numbers, the long numbers and the long strings. So let's check. Yep. So W stands for alphanumeric characters, which are numbers and letters. Yeah, alphabet letters.
Cheat sheets saying ASCII.
ASCII characters.
Yeah.
So will that include?
And then it's also saying underscore and
Oh.
what's that one?
Let's have a look. No, see? So if you use other characters like percentages, exclamation marks, apostrophes, all those sorts of things, then it doesn't match those. It only matches numbers and letters. W.
Can you try underscore?
Underscore I think will match, yeah. If I change that to underscore instead. Yep, so it's matched the underscore one, yeah. These will vary very, very slightly, I think, from language to language, but in general, it will be alphanumeric characters for the W. And we've said digits, white space, alphanumerics, but we could also have all of those capitalized, right? A capital D, a capital S, capital W. Again, I can't seem to get rid of that. So if I used a capital W, that's going to match anything that is not. That's like the not operator. Make your letter, your special character, capitalized in regular expressions, yeah? So this will match anything that is not a number or a letter of length 3 or more. So what will it match in this case? Yeah, these 3 apostrophes, I think that's the only thing it's going to match, yeah, hopefully. the spaces around it. Fair enough, because they're white space characters. Yep, they're not alphanumerics. Confusing? Clear as mud?
Wait, did it include the white space?
It did include the white space, yes.
Wait, what does that
Right, I
mean?
thought S was S was commented out.
So we're using not alphanumeric. So that includes white space characters. Yeah?
The forward slash the not bit.
Can I do what, sorry? You?
Online, I don't know what that is. It's num match. Is that backslash? And then in parentheses.
In here?
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
Which part is the not bit?
Capital letter things.
Ah, okay, what was it?
Yeah, so little w will be alphanumeric, numeric, capital W, non-alphanumeric characters. Yeah? So the best thing you can do really is go to that other link that I gave you
Oh, yeah, I scrolled up, I saw it. Jeez.
and just play around with regular expressions and see what gets matched in the text, yeah? So that's one of the best ways to learn, but cheat sheets are a good guide. Yeah, so this is quite a useful one as well, specific for JavaScript. But yeah, the key things to remember for me are your little qualifiers, yeah, your flags, your INGs. How do we write regular expressions? So using the new regular expression constructor or just using the literals, which are the forward slashes. Quantifiers are really important. So by quantifiers, I mean things like we had the question mark earlier for color and color, yeah? I've written a lot since then. Split, split, split. And it's really useful for finding the vowels, counting the vowels in sentence as well, yeah? So the vowels are obviously A, E, I, O, U, yeah? In English. And don't get me started on Y.
Do you know?
Huh?
Do you know what?
No, I meant the letter Y. Yeah? Sometimes they say, oh, why is a vowel? To me, it's A, E, I, O, U.
I've never heard that.
Alright. I think it comes from like Old English. Yeah, Y being more of a vowel instead of the I. So, we have all of the vowels listed there. Will that just match things that are A, E, I, O, U in sequence? So in other words, that won't get any matches, right? Because you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vowels there and you've only got 4 there, yeah? Okay, let's have a look. Yeah, exactly, nothing matches. If I put it inside of square brackets, which is a character class, will that match anything? Okay,
Yes.
I think it's going to match. What do you think it's going to match, Porrick?
I think I match A.
Yeah,
E.
yeah,
I.
yeah,
U.
you.
A. E. I.
Oh, so I think we're going to have 8, is it? Let's run it and see what happens. That's because I haven't got the global on, yeah? So it's only matched 1. If I put the global on, it matches 8 of them. You're quite correct. So it just matches individual characters inside of that character class, yeah? If I also had a big A, big U, whatever, yeah? will it match those as well? Will we now get 10 matches? No. Why not? Because regular expressions are case sensitive. Yep. If I wanted to do a case insensitive search, how would I do it in regular expressions? Yep. So we have another flag, an I. So I can just add that to the end like that, and that will now do a case insensitive search. And we get, oh yeah, with the first I as well. I missed that one. So we now get 11 matches. Yeah. So I find these character classes really useful. And of course we could match something like 2 or more. I think we can do that anyway. This is when you play around with regular expressions and see whether combinations work. But what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to say, are there any combinations of vowels, 2 together or more? If so, match those. So I should not be matched because it's not surrounded by any other vowels, nor that one, nor that one. The I and the U should match, and then this should match as well. That's my intention. Let's see whether it works. Yeah, nice. See? So once you know what each individual shorthand does, yeah, match any of these characters, but only if there's 2 or more together, then you can really combine all your regular expressions and create some very powerful matches, yeah? They're used a lot to match emails, phone numbers, all these sorts of things, validation check-in in forms, or just for searching file systems, yeah? Can I find a file with the name? Can I find... Probably when you're doing your search in Visual Code Studio, have I got it open? No, if I opened it quickly. Probably when you're using... Where's my search gone? Oh, they've moved it now, haven't they? They've put it like in the terminal or something. Yeah. When I do the search down here, that's probably converting it into a regular expression and then searching that way throughout your file system or throughout the files or project or whatever it is that you're in. I can't confirm that, but it's highly likely.
You can even, I think, put actual regular expression inside.
Yeah, I think you can even put an actual regular expression inside there. Yeah. Yeah, because they're very performant ways to search for text or patterns. Yeah, any questions from your side? What do you want to search for? Any new quotes, Vince, that you want to search? Say again, sorry? Insensitive, so we've included that in this last one, right? Because we said we want to try and match the A and the U in quote 1, and that was for the I flag there. Of course, we won't match it if there's 2 or more, but that will match the A and the U now if I just search for any of those lowercase letters but case insensitive. Yeah, it now matches the uppercase A and U there. Yeah, I mean, if I did something really weird, like just do a mix of these upper and lowercase letters, it does not matter because it's doing a case insensitive search. Still gets the same result. Yeah? Any other things? And there is obviously more to regular expressions than that. We can create capture groups and reuse certain parts of the matched expressions later on, assign them to variables, use them later on in our code. But I think that's probably enough for now, and I just wanted to do a few questions on the platform, right? We've got some regular expression training on the platform, so let's try and put into practice what we've learned, and let's try and write it in a few different ways. Let's try and write it using just normal strings and characters, and let's try and use some of these special shorthand characters, yeah? So things such as your \s for your white space. A good one, just to show the power of your \s perhaps, is using replace. So let's say I want to replace all of the spaces with hyphens. Yeah, turn everything into kebab case, something like that. So I could replace all white space with what? for kebab case. I know we've got some capitalised letters. I'm going to ignore that for now. Let's just, yeah, with a dash. Let's go with the original and the best. I'm a genius. Not me personally, by the way, just to clarify YouTube. Oh, yeah. So, what has happened there?
It's only done the first one.
Only done the first replace.
Oh yeah.
Because again, we need to search for all of the white space. And there we go. Yeah. So all of the white space is now being replaced with our hyphen. If we tried to do that with a string, would it work? So again, it replaces the first one, but is there any way to replace all instances of white space using the replace method? G? What, on a string? Doesn't like it, right? So if you use a string with the replace method, you can only replace one thing. So if you want to replace multiple things, you have to use a regular expression. That will of course replace all spaces. Or if you had some tabs and stuff in there, maybe I want to replace that apostrophe as well. So I can put apostrophe or white space characters replace with a hyphen, or let's replace with an and symbol, for example. Oh, I've replaced everything. Oh, I used a word. I meant to use a S, right, for white space character. Yeah, so now every space and every apostrophe has been replaced with an and symbol. Yeah, so the possibilities are endless of what you can do. But hopefully that's a bit of an introduction. Platform questions? Oh yeah, here we go. Training tests. Regex. Cool. We had this one this morning, right? Yeah, search the word index. Yeah. So we put two variables in there. We said sentence and string. No, sentence and token maybe. And for now, I just want us to create a regular expression to match the first case. Yeah, I'm going to ignore the dynamic thing for now. Yeah. So what are some patterns that will match the word new? And you can use any combination you like. Let's see how many different ways we can get. Anyone want to start me off with one pattern? Gets easier if, well, it gets harder as you go on, so easiest one first.
/NAW/I.
Okay. So I specifically want to match lowercase new, so I'll accept any variations on that. So do you want to do that, or yeah, or you want to do lowercase and then I, right? Something like that. Obviously we're using search, so eventually we're going to do sentence dot search, and we're going to do regular expression. Yeah. Okay. Return. Sorry. Okay, so that works. Can someone give me another regular expression that will match in the first case?
Let's. Alright, replace that here.
No, I'm not going to replace it. I'm going to
Okay.
put a new one.
So use new. Just get rid of
Everything.
New.
Okay.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Token. Comma. I.
Okay. So you've done the full answer. Yeah. I was just looking
Oh,
for
sorry.
I was just looking for ways to match new.
Oh,
That's all I'm
sorry.
looking at. How many different ways can we
Right.
match a string? Yeah.
Question though.
Why do you need to have I between quotes and that?
Yeah. That's the same question I had.
So it's case sensitive. So if the token is like all capital NEW, you put I, so it'll match anything that is.
No.
It's not your question, right? Why is that in a string?
Yeah, why is it in the string?
Just because it's the way that the regular expression constructor receives its arguments.
I is not. Because still.
It has to be a string as its second
I,
argument.
they will think it's an argument.
Mm.
If you put string, you'll think, oh, okay, you want me to go through insensitive.
Yeah, in that format, it's looking for a variable called I,
Yeah, exactly.
which isn't defined.
Exactly.
Okay.
Whereas as a string, it accepts it as a flag for a regular expression. Yeah, these are the two ways to construct it. Either you use / pattern, just an I on its own or a G on its own, because it knows it's part of the regular expression. Yeah, because you've used that format. If you use the constructor format, new regular expression, if you want any flags like I, G, M for multi-line, then you must put them in quotes. It will not work otherwise. Yeah. Cool. So yeah, for now I just want to match new. So we could have done something just like new on its own. But let's get a bit more adventurous, right? Let's match it using perhaps one of these characters. So will white space work? What character? What special character do we need? What shorthand character? What was the alphanumeric one?
W.
W, yeah. So we can use \W. Huh? D was digits for numbers. W was for alphanumerics. Yeah. But that at the moment is going to match everything.
So
Curly brace number.
So yeah, I mean, I just want to play around with it, right? So if we do a curly brace, what number would you possibly put in there?
3, but we're doing new now.
3, because we're looking for a word of length 3. So that will match any word of length 3.
So 2.
So at the moment though, we've got the and new. So I think that will probably match the instead, or the. Okay, we'll do that suggestion next. Didn't return anything. Alright, sign of value but never used. I'd have expected it. Oh, probably returning a null and it doesn't show it. So if we went to DevTools instead. Okay, I think we're there. What went wrong there? So that's the one we're trying to use, but sentence dot search regular expression 3 search got a 0. Does alphanumeric match spaces? So I'm just confused why we got a 0, that was all. Let's use a match and see what's going on. Yeah, it's matching cod.
Ah, it makes 0 first.
Yeah.
It just gets the first 3 letters of the first word.
Yeah.
Can you remove token?
Token's not going to matter, right?
No.
I thought that was it had to be exactly 3. Yeah, I suppose it is though, right? It's 3 in a row. So we would have to do something like
Put a space around it.
space, yeah. Then you've got the, yeah, makes sense. So instead we want space N and then like 2 letters, yeah? I know this is a more complex way of writing it, but it's just testing our understanding of regular expressions, yeah? So, yeah. With a 3, it just matches the first 3 alphanumeric characters, which in our case was cod, yeah, for the first 3. Because all of those 3 are alphanumeric. Okay, great, return those. So if we wanted words of length 3, we would have to have a space before it, and that would work as long as there was no the word at the start wasn't 3 letters, right? Because there's no space in front of it. So not ideal. And if you wanted to match new, we'd have to have an N. Yeah, so these are sequentially. Is there a space, then an N, then 2 alphanumeric characters next? If yes, return it. Yeah, so just read from left to right in your regular expressions. Cool. Any other ways you want to try? Could we use some dots or wildcards?
I've got a question about quantifier.
Mm-hmm.
So on the cheat sheet, it's got plus for 1 or more. How do we get what we're looking for 1 or more of?
What's your question on the plus?
Yeah.
1 or more?
So you see the example is /w and /w plus.
Yeah.
How do we know what we're looking for 1 or more of?
The one just before it.
Yeah, it's always the preceding character. So if we had new and you know, like weird letters like that.
Yeah.
So if we wanted to try and match all of those, well, what's common to them? We've got an N, we've got an E. How many times can we repeat the N? 1 or more times, yeah? Sorry, how many times can we repeat the E? 1 or more times. So that was your plus, yeah?
Okay.
And then it finally finishes at the W. So that
Okay.
should match new new, new, or however you want to pronounce it. Yeah, that matches all three because you've said I want this character E to be present either once or more times. It doesn't match now or nor because it's not an E. Yeah, we would have to do something like E, A, O one or more times to match all of them. Yeah? Or we could just put a wildcard character in there, which is the dot. That will match anything apart from a line break, I think. Yeah, so that matches. Where's the NG come from? Yeah, so that matches NG space. Yeah, NG space IS, so it matches all of that. Or in fact, yeah, it's matched from there, right, up to the W there. So that's not ideal, right? That's not a very good example, that one, because the wild card can be a bit dangerous, yeah?
So if we're searching for something once, would we use the plus or the question mark?
Question mark is once or none, yeah?
And plus is once or one or more.
Yeah, so either would work if you're just looking for one character, but if you did not want to match NEEEW, then you couldn't use the plus, right? Because that will match multiple E's. And the question mark was once or none, yeah? So that will only match new without matching these ones. Yeah? So they have different use cases. Question mark match 0 times or no times. So if we also had NW in there somewhere, that would also get matched. Yeah? But if we had multiple E's, then they're not going to get matched with the question mark, but they are going to get matched with the plus. So it depends on your use case, of course, like anything. And that matches multiple ones. Yeah? Cool. Back to the platform. And we'll do one or two more, yeah, because I realise we're getting on with time. Yeah, so replace. So we are replacing welcome to CodeFlix. Yep. Okay, so what's my syntax? We'll use a regex this time. I use RE, yeah, equals.
Equals and then the slash. I would think for this one we'd go with what we're changing from.
Yeah, so we need to match what we're changing it from first. Which is all of that, right? We're replacing the whole thing, I think. Oh no, Kadiri, yeah, you're right. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Ignore the second case, let's just do the first case. Yeah, just make it work for that.
I don't think there's a need to do G, because within
Yeah, there's just one instance of it, so no G is needed. Cool.
But I'm not sure how to put the 2 into.
But we want to use the replace method, right? So we can do sentence.replace and then pass our regular expression in. And the second argument in replace is what we want to change it to.
Which, do we need to do a number of regex, or can we just type in?
You could do. So if you try another regex, let's see what happens. The classic typo. Coddler flick. That you go around here. My app's not working. My app's not working. It's because you have your database name as Coddler flicks or something like that. Return would help. Okay, so it's replaced it exactly with the forward slashes, yeah? So you need a string as your second argument. Yeah? So that works. If I just passed it in as a lowercase Kadiri, how would it still work? How would I still get it to work?
We need capital K.
But if I put a lowercase k, how can I still get my regular expression to work? Yep, add an I flag, still works. Yeah, without it, doesn't find a match. Cool. And then, of course, for most of these questions, we want to make everything dynamic. So this is fine when we're just looking for specific patterns or matches that we can group together. The Premier League and Kadiri aren't that similar, so it doesn't really make sense, I guess, to write a regular expression that is all of them. So instead of using the regular expression literal like that, we can use the new constructor, yeah? Regular, as Vince suggested right at the start. We take from in there. And the second one, we are looking for the Premier League, yeah? And we're also looking for La Liga. No, we're not. We're changing to La Liga. Sorry. Yeah, we're just looking for the Premier League. So that's the from.
So, the 2.
Yep. And then we can change it to whatever we want to change it to. Yeah. And as always, I have missed my semicolon. Last one. The rain in Spain stays mainly in the plain. I thought it was falls mainly on the plain, but hey. Ricardo's Spanish, it's not like he'd know that or anything.
I still struggle to say she sells seashell by seashore.
No, yeah.
Seashell. Yeah. She sells seashell by seashore.
Yeah, it's the first bit, isn't it? She. Oh, yeah. She sells, yeah.
No, don't read it, don't read it. do it 5 times without looking.
Okay, no takers. Moving on.
Alright.
How are we going to find this one? Does it suggest a method down here? Yeah, look, use the match method. So this is what we've used mostly anyway. So what's the general syntax, guys? Is it regular expression dot match, or is it string dot match? Which one? Yeah, so you think string dot match the regular expression. You are quite right. Yep, so that's the general format. And then we've got to create our regular expression. Yeah, again.
So,
Let regular expression equals new regular expression. And we're creating it from the token, yeah?
do we need to include the G?
Yes, because
Or will we see it once?
otherwise we're only going to return one match. So that AIN would only match there. So how do I add a flag or an option, an I or a G to...
Second argument, increments.
Yep, so it has to be the second argument in my regular expression constructor. So do I just do that? I mean, must be a string, good. Do I need any other flags? Or is that enough?
No, I as well.
I as well. Why do I need I as well?
Spain, capital A-I-N.
Uh-huh. Do we want to match that one?
Oh, wait, no, we only want 3.
Yeah.
So, no, it should be fine.
So we want to match 1, 2, almost, and then 3, yeah? So we're ignoring the AIN capitalized. Great. Anything else? Return. No? Very nice. Yep. So main things, trying to remember 2 ways to construct regular expressions with the new constructor or using your regular expression literals. Put your pattern between your forward slashes. Any flags or options go there in a literal, and your flags and options go as a string in the regular expressions constructor. Then I think, well, there is more methods coming actually in the very near future to regular expressions in JavaScript. They're getting an upgrade, but for now, the main ones, you've got your search, match, replace, split, if you like, and then your test and exec are the ones of the other form. Try and learn some special characters like your D, W, S for your white space, D for your digits, and W for your alphanumeric characters. And then the main other useful things are what does the plus do, the question mark do, yeah, to match things 0 times, once, all those sorts of things. Escape characters are very useful as well, so if you need to match something like that, need to match an I'm in a string, then you would have to match an I, and you couldn't just do that, you would have to, or could you do that in that case? I'm not sure, but if you didn't, then you need to use the escape character to escape the, if you had I plus M or something like that, yeah, you would have to escape the plus by using the backslash character. So backslash is your escape character in regular expressions. Cool. Information overload? No, not too bad. Little. Any other questions before we wrap it up? No? Okay, I know it's quite a dry topic, but they can be very, very useful. So practice with them if you get time. And those links are probably the best ways to do it, yeah? Look at the cheat sheets and then try and match your own text. Yeah, you can write whatever you want in there. Write your regular expression and see what it matches. I think that's the best way. Just play around with it. Alright, thank you very much.